welcome back to my channel everyone. Well, I really hope you are doing great. Well, today I'm back with the NCERT Civics book with chapter 5, that is Women Change the World. Well, when we talk about an image of a woman, the first image that flashes in our mind is of our mothers, isn't it? Well, when we talk about our mother, we talk about a woman who signifies or upholds the image of immense strength, dedication, sincerity, and punctuality. Well, in our previous chapter, we saw how women, how their work at home is not recognized as work, and how they actually take the double burden, which becomes extremely time consuming for them. We have also read about how doing household work and taking care of family members is a full-time job, and there are no specific hours at which it begins and ends. Today, in this chapter, we will look at work outside the home and understand how some occupations are seen to be more suitable for men than for women. We will also learn about how women struggle for equality. They are still struggling for equality. Getting an education was and still is one way in which new opportunities were created for women. This chapter will also briefly trace the different types of efforts made by women's movement to challenge discrimination in more recent years. So, the chapter will highlight all the aspects in which we can see the women and we can really understand how are they placed in the society and what are the rigid expectations and notions, the stereotype notions still exist about them. Though the different governments, when they come, they ensure different schemes, the different a lot of policies, especially for the women, the female child, but a majority of the population still remain illiterate, and they still remain ignorant about the position that the women enjoy in the society, or they should be given in the society. So we will start with the notion of fewer of opportunities and rigid expectations in order to get established in the society for a woman. A lot of the children in Rosie Ma'am's class drew women as nurses and men as army officers. So when we draw an image of a nurse, it has to be a woman. Why? Because caring and loving, these two adjectives goes the best with a woman, isn't it? And when we talk about an army officer, we always think that it's when it comes to guard our borders, when it comes to become a security to our nation, it has to be someone who not only who is not only physically capable but also mentally strong. So these two images actually are drawn by the society itself. The reason they did this is because they feel that outside the home too, women are good at only for certain jobs. For example, many people believe that women make better nurses because they are more patient and gentle. This is linked to women's role within the family, isn't it? As they are doing the job inside the family, in the family, for the family members, it is taken for granted that these works suit them only. Similarly, it is believed that science requires a technical mind, and girls and women are not capable of dealing with technical things. Because so many people believe in this stereotypes, many girls do not get the same support that boys do do to study and train to become doctors and engineers. In most families, once girls finish school, they are encouraged by their families to see marriage as their main aim in life. So it is still taken as a burden if a female child is born in a particular family, and they are taken as a liability, okay, and not considered as an asset. Okay, we consider an asset to those things which, in long run give us some benefits or make up for us. So as most of the women are forced to or encouraged by their family members just to get married after they finish the college or school, they are not taken as similar as the boys. Okay, now this is a typical notion that still exists in the society, and it is important to understand that we live in a society in which all children face pressures from the world around them. Sometimes these come in the form of demands from adults. At other times, they can just be because of unfair testing by our own friends. Boys are pressurized to think about getting a job that will pay a good salary. They are also teased and bullied if they do not behave like other boys, isn't it? So there is, these notions that the society have gathered from a long period of time. It is not only because of them. It is a pre-existing, very typical orthodox notion that from the very beginning of the family tradition, it has been passed on from generations to generations. Okay, so there are certain norms that the society has fixed for the boys, which are really different from that of the girls. So the many of your friend might have told you that do not wear the color pink. It doesn't suit you. So why the boys cannot wear pink, and why always a girl's favorite color needs to be pink? Okay, so they try to link every single thing with that particular gender, which is not at all a particular like a personified notion, but it's a notion from of the society itself. Okay, so we have to really why you are reading this chapter, children, why you are made to understand these concepts, because you are the future of our nation. You are growing up to be individuals who will be more responsible, more mature than your previous generation, isn't it? So in this case, you need to really understand and differentiate between what is good from what is bad, and you should be the best judge of what you want to do in your life, whether you are a girl or you are a boy. Firstly, you are an individual, so you should look, and the society entirely should look at you as an individual, not to any gender specific. Now we will read about few women from the past who have proved the society wrong so many a times with their passionate work. And a man or a personality is known by the work he or she is doing for the society. Why do we still remember Saint Teresa? Because of her selfless contribution, isn't it? Why we remember Kalpana Chawla, Bachendri Pal, so many athletes, so many politicians, so many social workers. Why do we remember them? Because of their selfless effort towards the society, right? So here we See, learning for change. Going to school is an extremely important part of your life. As more and more children enter school every year, we began to think that it is normal for all the children to go to school. Today, it is difficult for us to imagine that school and learning could be seen as out of bounds or not appropriate for some children. But in the past, the skill of reading and writing was known to only few of them. Most children learned the work their families or elders did. For girls, the situation was worse. How? In communities that taught sons to read and write, daughters were not allowed to learn the alphabet. Even in the family where skills like pottery, weaving, craft were taught, the contributions of daughter and women was only seen as supportive. So whatever domestic work or some small scale industrial work or some work which are entirely related to certain skill were only allowed to women. Okay, so for example, in the pottery trade, women collected the mud and prepared the earth for the pots, but since they did not operate the wheels, they were not seen as potters. So you got the difference. In the 19th century, many new ideas about education and learning emerged. Schools became more common, and communities that had never learned reading and writing started sending their children to school. So it was seen in the 19th century that some notions or the part of the society started to think it in a different manner. They started to send their children to the school. They started to enroll them in school. Yet many women and men made efforts to open schools for girls. Women struggle to learn to read and write. Here we are reading about Ramabai, who was born in the year 1858, and the picture is in your book, which is shown above with her daughter, campaign the cause of women education. She never went to school but learned to read and write from her parents. She was given the title Pandita because she could read and write Sanskrit, a remarkable achievement as women then were not allowed such knowledge. She went on to set up a mission in Khergaon near Pune in 1898, where widows and poor women were encouraged not only to become literate but also to be independent. They were taught a variety of skills from carpentry to running a printing press, skills that are not usually taught to girls even today. The printing press can be seen in the picture on the top left corner of your book. Okay, so Ramabai's mission is still active today. So you can well imagine the willpower of this woman who, in spite of being illiterate or in spite of being deprived of learning the alphabets, had the power, had the courage to learn the alphabets from her parents, and a rich language like Sanskrit, she was able to grasp this language, and she went on. She could not stop there, and she went on, helping other women, and it became a movement for her. So you can from this, she actually had set an example for so many women who were basically trapped in their families doing only the household courses. But when she came forward, others from her learned too, and it became a leading movement of that era. So children, you can well imagine the what aspect that we are going to learn in this chapter. You will learn more about other women who had significant contribution in the society in the field of women education. We will learn more about them in the next class. This was the part 1 video of the chapter. I really hope you read the whole read till where we have done today and try to understand the essence of the chapter. If you have liked the video, please like the video, share it with your friends. Those who have not yet subscribed and new to my channel, please click the subscribe button and the bell icon. I'll be back with the next chapter, next session of the chapter very soon. Till then, take care.